Oh, hey. Welcome to my workshop, I guess. Do you remember in school how they said taking notes was a good idea, and then you scribbled so hard, and maybe you doodled a little bit, but ultimately you never looked at those notes again? Well, when they said it was a good idea, they were 30% right. You want to know what I was fake doing over here? Actually, I was recording the greatest candle design ever. Today's episode is all about how notes are the greatest asset for your product line. Let's go! Hello, my name's Kevin. Welcome to Armitage Candle Company, the premier online resource for accelerating your candle making technique in business. My name is Kevin. In today's episode, we're going to talk all about how notes are the backbone of candle making. They are truly the greatest tool. And I know, even though all the time I say that this is the greatest tool, it's actually this. The notes. So it's easy to think of candle making as a science, right? Your notes, you can think of it as a recipe. It lays out all these ingredients, everything that goes into the candle, how to make it. But I also want you to think about candle making and notes as a story. This is how that candle came to be. It's the very genesis of that design. But notes are more than that too. They record your secrets. They allow you to replicate your success, and they allow you to measure your mistakes and also to grow from your strengths and your successes. And so the biggest thing to take away from notes is that this isn't just busy work, right? This isn't writing it down to forget about it later. This is true record keeping to enhance and build strategies and understand exactly how to make the greatest product line you can possibly make. There's all sorts of note taking out there, but today I want to focus on a very specific part of that, and that is your design notes. Design notes can be split into three categories: your ingredients, your system, and your environment. Let's start with ingredients. Now, ingredients outline exactly what it sounds like. These are the supplies that are going to go into your candle: wax, fragrance oil, color, wicks. I'll even say jars fit into this. In the ingredients category, you've got all these different supplies, all the different supply types, but also the amount of each of those supplies, as well as how you're going to measure them. Like with wax, everything is measured by weight. Fragrance oil, same thing. You measure fragrance oil by weight, ounces or grams. Wick, you're going to specify size. Your jar is going to have a specific amount of dimensions. Your color is going to be added either by a percentage if you have some pretty high level calculations going in, or more commonly, most people say color is spec'd by drops per pound. Additionally, when you call out all these ingredients, it's important that you know the supplier they came from, because even if you get lavender from Candle Science and then you get lavender from Lone Star, for example, those are going to be different formulations. They may be the essence of lavender in both cases, but they're going to behave differently. Treat them as completely separate ingredients. So that's ingredients. Include everything you can about ingredients. Now let's talk about system. System is the underlying machine that you're using to build these candles. This is how you label your candles, how you provide ID numbers. This may be your preferred method of heating. This may be your equipment like thermometers or stir sticks or pour pots. Those things all make a difference. Your system is also how much are you going to stir, how fast are you going to cool that wax after you heat it up to its max temp and you add your fragrance oil, whether or not you're going to preheat your jars, or if you're going to transfer your wax from like a Presto pot into a pouring pot and then into the jars. All these things make up your system, and it's important that you can replicate not only your ingredients but also your system, the way that you're building these candles. The final element of design notes is what I call the environment. And this is the biggest factor that really changes the way that your candles will behave versus someone who matches your exact ingredients and your exact system. Because the way that your candles behave after they're poured and while they're curing all depends on the ambient conditions that you set up for your candles. So your environment, temperature is something you're always going to want to record, but you're going to want to know what it was when you were making the candles. Record your humidity as well. I also recommend that you include information in the environment about how you're going to cure your candles, what you expect the temperature to be, and how long that's going to take place. These are all parts of the blueprint that you're designing. So we've got ingredients, system, and environment. Those three categories really make up the entire design of that candle. If you can replicate every single recorded item in every single one of those categories, it's super likely you're going to end up with the same candle every time. Okay, so whatever. Record everything. That's essentially what I'm saying. But like, why do we want to do this? Understanding your design and understanding your system allows you to make intelligent corrections when issues arrive. Let me say that again. Understanding your system, understanding your factors, all your inputs, allows you to make intelligent corrections when problems arise. See, it's so easy to just get going, start throwing things together, not really keep track of everything. And sometimes you strike gold. But you have no idea what you did to get there because you didn't record the notes. You aren't sure what percentage fragrance oil. You don't know exactly what wick it was because you didn't record that. Or maybe you did record that, but you didn't label your candle, part of your system. So it's important that you can map your results to your inputs, outputs to inputs. And that's all this does, is it maps your outputs to your inputs. It allows you to not only replicate when you strike gold, but it allows you to study when you strike out. See, there's so much knowledge in your process. Remember, everything added to a candle impacts everything added to a candle. The more you know about what you've added, the more you know how it impacts everything. And so it's really simple. Like getting ahead of yourself and being organized with your notes and your inputs allows you to build out the robust product line and then replicate it for those customers that want to come back because they love what you do. They love that candle. And if they come back and you can't give them that candle, you can lose them. So building that system so it's repeatable and scalable is only going to benefit you in the long run, and it really doesn't take much. I mean, we're talking about a sheet of paper, or if you're really savvy, use a Google Doc, a Google Sheet. You know, just record it somewhere and then map it to that candle so that when you're testing it in your workshop and you're enjoying that lovely fragrance, you know exactly how you made that candle. You can look it up, figure out what were the conditions when you made it, how can I make that happen again? Because this one's going in the product line. Okay, but you want it to be easy, right? You don't want to have to try to think through, oh, I forgot to record this, I forgot to record that. Well, guess what? I made it easy. I put it all in a PDF. No surprise, right? It's really fill in the blank. And you can take it and copy it and paste it into your own. I don't care. Do whatever makes you happy. You know? I want your candles to be beautiful. I want them to be duplicatable. And I think that could help you. And maybe you've already got a great system. If you do, let me know. What are you doing? Do you record on paper? Or maybe you're putting it up in the cloud. You know? How do you keep track of what you're doing? Anyways, if you're interested in that PDF, you can get it by going to ArmitageCandleCompany.com/notes. Notes are a formula. They're the genesis of a new candle. They are the steps that you're taking to create life. And they outline the choreography for the inevitable clash between art and science to bring you a fugue of fragrance. That's all I got today. I hope you take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you in next week's episode.